and I felt like their value in use. So me and my son went to go get their donuts, and they are amazing. They totally lived up to the reputation. I've lived in Utah for 12 years and I've never had one, but they were so good. They were like delicious. They looked good. They're moist. They're like the perfect balance of sweet and yeah. So their value in use for a donut is absolutely amazing. I don't think that they could have been any better.
It's good, yeah. Kind of chime in. Value and use is just kind of effectiveness of the product, and like she said, they did a really good job. Customers were super satisfied with how good the donuts are, which leads into their value and exchange, which is kind of the efficiency of their product, which is these super delicious donuts. Uh, what they can work on though is kind of just so they have super good donuts, so their competitors have super high priced donuts, and their donuts are super low priced. So their customers are going to keep on coming back for those good donuts. So they're working on a really good value and exchange. Um, yeah, which kind of leads into Colin over here.
So yeah, with that, I think that they're currently their business has obviously been spectacular since I think it said 1931, and they've only actually had one retail store, and they've put their product in like markets, grocery stores, and I think that with that they should try to branch out their overall market and basically bring their business, bring their product to more stores across the nation. Really, they uh, they have a large revenue as it is that they accumulated, and they should be able to branch their business out by expanding to consumers across the country. Maybe put a store starting in like Colorado or Arizona just to get like a retail store out there. They only actually have one retail store in South Jordan, and as of that, people don't really. I mean, I'm sure they get a lot of customers, but people aren't really going there all the time to buy their donuts. They'd rather get it like a place more closer, more convenient for them. And I think that their product is so well known as it is, only for the one store that they have, that if they could just open one, for instance, downtown Salt Lake City or even on campus at the U, they would just generate more revenue, make more money, and with that, they're just doing what they're best at since 1931 with retail, selling donuts in their store, and I think that also can um, they can bring about like more financial performance of the organization, and I think Kyle, you can touch on that.
Yeah, so with value and finance, one of the other keys. So they've been around for 80 years, since 1931, and it's obvious if they've been able to go for 80 years, they're doing something correct. And with their increase in value distribution by going outside of Utah, expanding and stuff like that, then they can only be getting more revenue as long as they're being safe in their expansion. And by doing that, they can make sure they're financially safe like in the future as they grow. And yeah, so for that fitness, Ashton.
Um, so yeah, I kind of just want to touch on something really quick, for like distribution that we all talked about. If they were to like expand the storefront, it's kind of inconvenient because when you buy them in their packaging, like you either have the choice if you go to the like Smith's to go get them, you can either have the chocolate ones or there's like a mixture of three different flavors. But when we went on their website, they have a ton of different products, and so I feel like the distribution for the chocolate donuts is amazing, but their overall products, if they wanted to like expand and capitalize on that more so, then not so much. If not, I don't know. Even kind of goes back to like their value in exchange. They could honestly cut back a lot of those other products that they're not getting out there, and just like and focus in on those two boxes of donuts that they do have, and worry about um, getting into like more stores. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like for that value distribution, it comes down to the customers. They want to get the product more easily, and if they can't get all those flavors, then the customers are going to be unhappy unless they expand outside of Utah, so customers can actually attain those different flavors, their cookies, their muffins, and other stuff like that, which will make customers happy and increase their value and use as well. So.
And it also kind of ties back to their finance because it seems like a little impractical that they have all those things if it wasn't super accessible for people to use and enjoy. And even in their exchange, because they're just I don't know, I feel like that's like money or a product that they maybe shouldn't be capitalizing on if they found their niche. So I'm just kind of curious, like I'm wondering finance wise too, like how much that takes for them to produce those and what the exchange on that is, like how many consumers are actually going down to South Jordan to buy those certain donuts or those muffins or those whatever, the apple fritters. So for fitness, I think that a huge thing they could do to keep progressing and keep up with the times that we all talked about is social media. Social media just is a huge platform that they're missing out on. Their website wasn't really up to date. It kind of seemed just behind the times. With platforms like Instagram, I know Kyle talked about they could do like a hashtag, like hashtag Dunford Donuts, and that's a huge way for them to keep growing and expanding. And I think a lot of it just goes to like their marketing and how they can. Their fitness kind of goes back into their distribution because they just need to like almost increase where they are to continue their company growing and thriving.
Yeah. It's shit. Sorry, I got some roommates coming in.
Fucking Red Bulls.
Shh.
Tell me to shush. For who?
I'm on a class assignment. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, my bad. I was playing ball.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, but their value in fitness can definitely work on growth with social media, maybe even a Facebook page. Because I know when we went on their website, it was very like almost half the page was like just blank space. And if they need like another like web designer or web developer or something, they could like kind of expand on it and make it a little more flashy, catch the eye of like the customer, I guess. So I actually want to order donuts online or go all the way to South Jordan and buy some of those apple fritters.
Yeah, I think like that kind of ties back to like their fitness and distribution too, because even if they had like the accessibility to online orders, that's still progressing. That's still kind of rolling like with the times, like and how you can do things. Because I mean, like edible arrangements, that's all online, and people order those all the time. So yeah.
To just touch back on the value in exchange, I think one way they can compete with like some of their major competitors, for instance, like Dunkin' Donuts, Krispy Kreme, like those stores have more priced, or their donuts are priced higher than they are at Dunford Donuts, and with that, I think if they are able to distribute their stores across the nation a little bit, at least the West Coast for now, stuff like that, they can maybe up their price a little bit in some of their donuts, or if they can get them in retail stores, they can maybe charge just a little bit more money for them, or even match what their competitors like Dunkin' Donuts have for their prices, and with that they'll generate much more revenue for their exchange. And the revenues will boost simply because people know how good their products are, and it shouldn't hurt their sales because of that.
Yeah, and one more thing, like I guess Ashton had said it when she had gone to Dunford, she couldn't buy a single glazed donut. She had to buy a half dozen, which for value and use, like I'm gonna go in sometimes and I might just want one or two donuts or something, and it's a little more difficult if I'm gonna go in and I only have like $2, for one donut. I'm not gonna go in and buy a half dozen donuts. And like we said, like driving home, I'm not gonna be able to keep my hands out of that box. So they need to have a storefront with some tables and stuff so people can actually have human contact, and I don't know, kind of spread that social awareness of that Dunford tastiness.
Yep. All in all, I'm a fan though. I'd go back. I'd do it again. I'd buy 6 more.
Yeah, I would go and buy some Dunford Donuts as well.
Oh,
I'd say it's a
God.
success.
Okay. All right. I think I'm good. I think we've covered
Good
everything.
deal. All right, there y'all go.
Excellent.
Dunford for the win.